I've used this YouTube channel in order to finish a deduction of the contents of the Bible. Is an easy way to explain what I've done here. Taking the 1611 King James Version of the Bible pretty seriously for the last 13 years. Hello. And over the last 13 years, taking the King James Version of the Bible has provided me, when did we actually follow the false deduction of the 6,000 year earth we're currently working to take care of here, and taking an opportunity, rethinking the entire era, because the rethought, my 13-year rethinking this, what happened when we kept the 6,000 year deduction, is really the question that I ended up answering. Well, we kept the Bible in print for far too long. The Bible is 1,000,000% expired. The 1611, the world's expired because of 1611. I'm outlining that we are still in this. Only way to describe is 1611 medieval haze in our pulpit preaching, in our pulpit performances. This 1611 medieval haze has provided a long-term retention of the 1611 King James Version of the Bible, and itself, with this medieval haze lifted by me over 13 years, lifting this entire medieval haze, utilizing this 13-year internet technology on the internet to put together the haze. What was the veil that God placed over the 1611 that caused James Escher to even think he could look back? Why do you currently keep 1611 at 6,000 year? What's the consequence? What did you pass over? What's been passed over? So much has been passed over, it's undeniable. So we kept to 1611, and we're going through some passed over data from local to my church. Here, the church I'm taking out the Bible from, through just here, not it's an article. Pastor, you don't know how to look at God face to face. The Bible's a bad book. It's as simple as that. 2 times. He 1611 is invalid because of two whole verses. Two whole verses, Pastor. 1611, you're still in 1611. Looking at a 1611 book, look at your 2020 interpretation of a 1611 book, and you still think God magically pooped. You're still in a wow, 1611 did that to you. You are willing to look at James Escher did what for you? Isaac Newton compared who? And what did you do with your sermons, pastors? Well, you've been preaching them, and that's an invalid, because Jesus never spoke a sermon on any amount by getting the King James Version of the Bible apart. Pastor, I was able to determine that Jesus, Greek, English, legend to English, is stuck now, is stuck in English. Stuck. Jesus Christos, we love you a little bit more now. However, stuck in English is not character. Not. You're in hell with that character stuck in English. Serious kids. We kind of saw that one company. It's because your pastors are preaching you a legend. They're preaching from a pulpit. It's because your lips don't look like George Washington. You didn't keep good track of your 7th president in his contribution in the United States. President Trump, did you remember when this country exited from our first major endeavor to break free from where we came from in England, and then they got us out of debt, first president, and now we have a close proximity president who's double our national debt, and we're 22 trillion. You're building us a wall, thanks, sir. However, yeah, that's kind of weird. I want what you actually needed, thanks, sir, built us a wall. You built you a wall. Human evolution built you a homosexual wall. Pastor, I'm not preaching. I'm explaining to you that you have homosexual male lists. Pastors, you have preaching from a pulpit, you retain. That is a warning symptom, President, that you also have with your hagged out looks. President, you have a hagged out look. You know, you're to me, you're a senile 1-year-old. Reply to your comment on Bible study. You're a senile. Somebody respond. I can't. I have to almost. I'll be too disrespectful. What the fuck? You're breaking the internet. You're typing great apes. Fucking go away. 500-year typing great apes. 500-year typing great apes. Fucking go away. That's how I feel. On YouTube, on Facebook, get that one over with. They're just, you kept evolution. Why? At the same time, you kept 6,000 years Earth. Well, kept evolution, human evolution, human evolution, human evolution, children, human evolution. The 500-year conundrum of growing up from great apes in picture format. Human evolution, human evolution, human evolution, and God sprinkling some magic fairy dust on the 1611. Human evolution, 1859, God sprinkles some magic fairy dust on you, and you have the 2020 internet. You have 2020 internet. You have 2020 Facebook. I used to program a lot. I don't anymore, and I couldn't if I wanted to write a script. I couldn't. It's been so long that, but I use Chromebook, so I don't have to do that shit. Well, why don't I use Unix and Linux? And I remember back in the day, I was building Linux is just so much. It was always, let me level to nothing and start over. That was a fun. Just let's have an empty machine and put a new system on it. And then tell her what to do. Tell her what to go over and talk to that other computer. Tell her what to do. So, the 6,000-year Earth legend keeper kids, 99, 6,000 years in 99. Why didn't we make a big deal about it? Huh? In 99. Science. Why no one pick up on that one? One. Got the one. 1999 to 2020, we still have it. 1999 to 2020, kids, we still have 6,000 years. That's actually kind of weird. Kind of cool in a weird double-edged sword sort of way. We'll walk through it this morning on Shabbat. Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. And kids, we kept this one. We kept this one for how long? And now we have to turn it off. What would we do without? We'd correct science. It would be pretty swell, right? And science from 1859 that we have in print from 1976. Science from 1859. I got followed all along on YouTube. I have a number of them. I have 2 Darwins. Did them both. And the second one's older. It was right at the turn of the century, 1900. Barely had electricity. Then you can just still under candle. So how long did it take for that book to get edited and reviewed without the computer? And let's then go out and confirm our data with our field research. He didn't do that. He didn't take that. Hey, I'm going to spend this many years gathering data on specifics of quick producing you, so you have Drosophila melanogaster. Good job. You have Drosophila, and what does it do? Why different? That's not evolution. That's you got smart enough to look at a little bug, to see how you could control it like you do when you breed your horses. We do. You controlled it for how many years? Are your lips straight, pastors? No, they're not. You got pulpit preaching pastor from grade 8, 500-year grade 8, everywhere. Everyone is in hell. Everyone, when I had 2020, as I'm saying this, the disappointment of this generation is just look at many of you of how far you are in eldership at 50. 50. Oh, I feel so old. I'm 43. I don't feel that old. I'm a Mason, and look at me. Think how George Washington used to hike around. David, 73-year-old elder, ripping the Bible from his Bible church from. He's a hunter. He can hike. He's 73. He can out hike me. My goodness, he can go 71. He went on a with some kids that are all panting behind him. Panting. He's 71 to up Mount Tumac. You can look on it with where I was there. It's an actual volcano. Tumac is an actual volcano. There, Mount Tumac in the Cascade Range, right near the Nile Valley over there. It's a small volcano. It's a arterial. I forget what they're called right now. To be honest, you can see they're just one of the side cones pops up elsewhere because the top cone is. I'm going to push it a little bit and I get a little bloop, and you get a perfectly coned stepping up a little bit, and you get a single that covered itself. A single that covered itself. So that's what we're looking at that. Volcano over there in Japan that perfectly covered itself, same cone. And it's kind of the last little nudging as the Earth is expanding from Lord Kelvin's little push of, well, we know it's older than that. And we know it's older than that, and we're not looking at geology, nor were you looking at the humankind of where are we going to get around to see how long is it going to take to figure out that the Australian Aboriginal have been there longer than dirt. Seriously, 6,000 years, what the fucks? 6,000 year, what the fuck? That's not geology. That's not anything. That's respecting people. Australian Aboriginal. The United States doesn't even know you're here. Did you know that? That's why they're $22 trillion in debt. Australia, President Trump didn't know that 25% of the country didn't give a shit that you're there. I care. I care that Australia is there. I care that Japan's been longer than dirt. Fuck Australia. 100% of the world doesn't know that the world is older than 6,000 years of age, and that you're a missing link to nothing. An 1859 theory that United States can't get rid of being $22 trillion in debt. You all need help at Darwin. Kids, you're Darwin. No, let's just be away with grade 8. Australia, you've been there longer than dirt, and that what you told us. So thank you. The world is in hell in Australian Dreamtime, some equivalency of thinking you know anything with anthropology or with your own history. Everyone, in the year 2020, believe what you want. I'm going to believe what I want. And in the year 2020, everyone believes what it wants, and we've erased Australia. So way to go, 6,000 year Earth magic, poofers from the Bible, 1611. Look at a book a second time and just always believe it. Erases us, all of Australia, erases your birth certificates, your personal birth certificates. In the United States, you still have the 6,000 year deductive, and nobody's willing to think out of it, help you out of it. So America, I'm recording myself in English here for you because you're all fucking weird. You're all mentally ill. You need a lot of help. You need help. You need help with Darwin. You need help with thought. You need help with prayer. You need help with, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm taking your 1611 away from you because it's a bad book. It's a good book. It's a really, really good book. It's a really dumb book to keep in print, though. At 6,000 years. Well, how do we get out of that? We get the 1611 out of print. We say, how long was it in print at 1611? 6,000 years, and we're done with that. One day. 1 hour, and we do what God told us to do. We put him back in his Bible, and it'll take about 7 more years after that. Putting God back into the Bible, getting you all out of hell. God in the year 6,000 year what? It's we have to put God back into the Bible now. You have no God. You have no religion. In the year 2020, you only have Bible cult performances. One on this internet, we need to turn off. They are like the first questions.org to wake up and to admit that they're wrong and turn them off first. Then we take care of Catholics. Catholics, turn them off. Turn your Catholic Bible off. Next. In the process of the two, Mormons, you're gone. King James Version of the Bible, 1611, 1 year. Mormons could be easily done. 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 day, 1 Sunday. Shabbat is not Shabbat. 1 day, 1 hour. God wants you to know 1 day, 1 hour. We need to collapse the churches at what the fuck did you do? 6,000 year, fuck cult, get rid of books, sorry. In 13 years, it's time to get rid of 1611 entirely. It's right around you. What did you miss? It's at that point. Get rid of 1611 Bible. What's right around you? Scientifically, what did you miss? You're $22 trillion in debt. Get rid of 1611 English. Oh, you all of a sudden understand language because that's where all of the language was at, that God had for you to understand because you wrote it as you were figuring out the false translation from English into and from and then back out. Solling calls world vision. You're right after this. You guys need to hold in the gospel, world vision, hole in the gospel, hole in the head, world vision, hole in the head, world vision, hole in the head. You aren't the world. We are the world, said Buster in the 80s. We are the world. Look at them. They don't need your help, or they do. What are you doing? What are you asking for money for? And what are you taking to? What product, service are you providing? You're not. You're a cult organization, repetitive typing great apes, not willing to take care of your children, not willing to admit that your marriage systems are broken, not willing to discuss your faulty educations. None of you went to any schools that worked, aside from all of them went to schools that worked, How long were you in school learning that great apes grew up to become your children? And how long were you in school learning that God provided you Jesus? He was a false Messiah. Not very good if he didn't teach you that one. That's a basic. How did I come to recognize 1611 false Messiah as 6,000 year false book? Right there. We're done. False book with false consequences that replete into you're consequentially erased. You preaching from a pulpit, you're a consequence. You were a drop of sperm consequence of 1610. Figure you out. You're pulpit preaching, a consequence of 1610. Pulpit preaching. Preach a legend, consequence of 1610. School, grab another legend, consequence of 1610. School, grab another legend, consequences 1610. Newspaper, blend both legends, got a Christian geologist, we're calling it theistic evolution now. Have a volcano you don't look at with geologists who right here, but I'm not talking to you about that. I'm a geologist. I'm Ben David. I'm not talking to you about it, and I'm letting you know that this is, you don't have a missing link. Also, you're all in hell. You're all insane, and you're driving me fucking crazy being so stupid to each other. Growing up from great apes. Take care of your fucking education systems. You don't have one. We figured that one out, that you grew up from 500-year great apes who evolved writing. That was pretty fucking creative. As I'm trying, that's Earth history. Earth history 2020 took me 13 years. You are the most creative animals. Yes, we'll go with that. Jimmy Swagger is a great ape. A very, very creative guy. Slobbering on a microphone, feeling it special ed endowed for Richard Dawkins to not say, "Hey buddy, I should help you a little bit. Could you help me? I don't think 6,000 years. Hey, I don't think great ape." It might have worked, but they couldn't. They're just both here. Got Richard Dawkins here, senile elder also. Senile elder Dawkins, you're senile elders, buddy. You're all senile. The 1611 made y'all senile. Everyone in the world, according to what I've read, how poorly you took care of your congregations, how shitty you kept preaching that thing, and how worthless you became as cult organizations who have Bible. Worthless, broke the internet in 99. Worthless, broke the internet in 99. I was there. Worthless. We still have cult in 2020. Worthless. 21 years doesn't make a lot of sense as to why they can't wake up. Why no, but why they're still here? Worthless. We have a cult on the internet. Wow, who's going to take care of that one and explain the whole Bible to you? Cult on internet in 2020, that's scientific evidence that Jesus was a false Messiah, translated wrong into English, caught in English on English internet, and that is scientific evidence. Jesus is false Messiah, false understanding of written word, entirely false understanding of your own written English history. You have a false understanding from that false understanding of where you came from out of 1611. Your entire church system is a false understanding of why you shouldn't have been born is a better way to begin with. You have a false understanding. You should not have grown up from a church. You should not have formed a church. Those were, how do we work together to work together? Then you had a select pocket. Well, we have some priests. We have this sect of people, they're all the same. Then we have this group of people, they're all the same. Then this group of people, they're all the same. With this limited book going out, with the limited 27 book thing, Saul provided you a false church in Rome. That false church in Rome then went out to everywhere, flat earth, young earth. Was it legend, or did the Bible get across to the United States and we still have it? Legend? No, we have the Bible. That doesn't matter how we got here. We're here. And what matters more is that Kennewick Man, 9,200-year-old fossil remain, shows that the Washington State, having a 6,000-year legend facility, is in violation of 1859 treaty. Go back a little bit. 1859 treaty. Okay, so we take care of Kennewick Man, 9,200-year-old fossil remain. 1859 treaty no longer in void in 2020. And it's back in history is, hey, in 1859, 1850, up to then, the whole world believed that Darwin wouldn't be kept, but he was. Also, from 1976 to present day, your test scores during that era, young little babies, now senile elders who have shit running down their heads. You're 70, David's 70, 73, and I put him at the competency to accept the legitimate age of the earth without having been deceived his entire life by the cult he was in and that I was baptized in. Deceived their entire lives. He was deceived his entire life by Baptists, by that. So 1986 deception. Church, I'm ripping the Bible out of them. 1986 deception. 1986 deception. 1976 deception also. 1976, deception. 1986, deceit. Bible imprint, 2016. So the deception, the beginning point of the deception is where you had to go back to how long are we going to keep it in print? What did we miss because of the time frame between 1850 to 1956. In that range, people were, hey, that's old. Hey, that's old. That's how we got there. B-17 up there. Hey, that's old. Finding new metals. We're mining for different things, and we're making new use of it. And what do? We're now where we're at, where we have titanium from World War II technology and engineering processes that I studied, and you obviously didn't. So, Kitterwick Man, 9,200-year-old fossil remain. FAA, I'm sorry, the CFR 191 is actually invalid. In conceptualization and theory, President, who has 6,000-year teaching facilities all over the place and schools with 5,500 BC Earth history is erased as grade 8. From there forward, you're all erased. In between, what happened, President? You're all erased. All of your voting population in the United States erased themselves. But too incompetent now as grade apes to make a decision. 500-year, too incompetent grade apes. Now you all, way to go. Now senile President. I'm comparing to you to David. He was a Republican, and he still is. I'm an independent. I voted for you. Yeah, but you're a senile piece of shit in my mind. Building us a wall and doing nothing for our kids. Bernie Sanders, you too. You want to give your 25-year-olds re-education? Absolutely. Give them better. Take them out of school at 5 and don't put them in school until 12. So when they get there at 12, they know how to write. They learned it at home and they know how to think, having actually had their feet in the ground and their fingers in the ground growing a plant or something. Hey, dog, cool. It didn't grow up from a cat. I'm a little naturalist now, eating bugs like they did 20,000 years ago. You know what they said? Is it salt? Yeah, President, what are you doing for your kids? Keep your kids at home. Kids are too young to go to school. The schools in the United States are just baby care centers. You're just baby care centers. You're all just baby care centers. And then about the time that the girls start to bleed and the boys start to see breast buds, about that time, and they start masturbating, about that time, that's when religion turned off for them. And when they stopped thinking. About that time, when kids hit 12 or 13, they just stop. I'm done. I'm going to go at it, cock demons like your pastors are full of them sucking their own cock. I'm going to marry you next. No, you're not. No, you're not. You didn't read Leviticus 12 or 15. Neither of you read those. Well, because God and Moses put that face to face, invalidated the whole Bible after Leviticus 12 and 15. Kids are bleeding. So you're 1610. 1610. You're all in the Middle Ages. You're all in out. You're still in this I can't think that well phase because of homosexuality. 500-year great apes, human evolution. Let's turn that off. Homosexuality, we turned it off at, let's talk about that. Homosexual male pastoralists. How do you think about that one, kids? That one's kind of cute when God sprinkles some. You want to preach my word wrong? I'll turn the guy saying homosexuality is a sin. You shouldn't do it. Be good little mating boys and girls and think God magically proved and don't take care of your educations. Just so preaching it, making these little 13-year-olds, I'm going to go see what that is. Yeah, as he's masturbating, rolling on his bed at home, watching TV. What just happened? When it's 11, 12, happened to you. and, so during the 80s, 70s, and then during the 50s, it was a lot less because that's why they weren't keeping any track of anything. The average age of minority was about 23 to 26. But you have all of this, hey, let's make this data better, promoting this idea that you guys are real 6,000 year scientists and you're not all just little baby pseudoscientists. Can't open up your eyes at reality. Can't accept that the book said what it said, but you didn't understand how to read it. It's kind of funny after that. So 6,000 years, 1611 legend. So William Thompson getting that legend. Volcanism in the arc began about 37 million years ago. So William Comp, no geology when so where would I put that? That would be, I need. So when did we it was about 1907 when we started geology. 1907. Beginning geology. The beginning of geologic record. So from 1907 through to the year 2020, even not taking a look at William Thompson's data, hey, I think it's this, then geologists not, okay, the Earth is older than 6,000 years of age. How are we going to prove it and keep track of that? Didn't keep track of that with their volcanism. They got flat Earth out into young Earth kept. English is a legend. You're 500 year, 400 year, everywhere you sprinkle and you masturbate and you got whites somewhere. You have racism because English is a legend itself. The English Bible is 1611 English legend. Didn't understand a word. Be right back. Make some more coffee. And you lost it in Hebrew. You totally English legend lost it, that you guys knew what the fuck you're translating and looking at. And then it's the Hebrew and Aramaic and everyone kind of just latched on, we feel smart, we called it scholarly. We kept a legend on how we could figure out our way around our ancestral origin and not writing anything down on where you didn't come from. So go back to the beginning. Once upon a time, you evolved writing. In the year 2020, you still evolved writing. Let's start at the beginning. Once upon a time, you around NIV 1980, copyright 1980. Well, here is your marquee for yeah, sure, you got a bad English translation. The Hebrew text is really kind of interesting that you'd have such a bad English translation, because it is such a good English translation. Yahweh said, Yahweh, servant of Moses' death after he was servant of Moses, to say, Moses, one of 80, Moses, son of Joshua, 2, and all of this. The Jordan, get ready, we go. So now he is dead. So you see, you had to understand how to read these fractured. They even took the letter Hey out of the Bible because they during the formation during the 1200 ADs, they were scared to write the letter hey when they were transcribing shit from that period. When they were scared to write the letter hey because it meant God. It actually means God, writing the letter hey. That's when the Greek didn't know that one. English followed the Greek legend. Where are we from? Oh, Poles. Yeah, pretty confusing for the guys at Trinity. Where do I turn off at? When will I be picked up at? Trinity College. Trinity College. You're a bad organization. You're a take a Bible away from the organization. Trinity College. I'm Ben David. Take the Bible away from the world. You exist. Okay, Europe link out for what's wrong with you in thinking that the Earth is magically moved still in the year 2020. Still, you still think that one? That one's kind of weird. That meant what? You followed a weird 1611 couldn't turn off legend. A weird 1611 couldn't turn off legend to Trinity College. You didn't translate these. This is just Joshua through Second Kings. Let's look right here because I feel like it. Goliath stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel, why do you come out and line up for battle? I'm not a Philistine and not the servants. Fucking Trinity College. The Philistine history. The Philistines were an ancient people who lived on the south coast of Canaan from the 12th century to 604 BC. Then they were exiled to Mesopotamia by King Nebuchadnezzar II. They are known for their biblical conflict with the Israelites. Several theories are given about the origins of the Philistines. Let's get rid of several theories and just say you don't know anything, because right here, when they got 500 years after being expelled from the Garden of Eden, you have them about them in the Bible. So, Philistines, turning off your Bible for you, that's Saul, and he kills me. Oh, wow. So, I am not a Philistine. Well, Philistines fit into the writing. Oh, what happened? Where'd you come from? A battle? What is that? 604 BC, probably around the 12th century BC. 12th century BC. And here until 604 BC. Exiled the Mesopotamian script. 3500 BC. Yeah. So, one Bible verse, one God and Moses speaking face to face morning. Turn off Bible for being 12th century BC, 604. Here's some data. We're exiled to Mesopotamia. Exile. So these are real people. Never understood why reality could never sit in for Christians never. They're always built in 1610. Fucking 1611 hallucinations. That's what's going on. Biblical conflict, 1611 hallucinations. Israelite 1611 hallucinations. Several theories are 1611 hallucinations. You're all wrong and you got it wrong. 12th century BC. Two. Mesopotamia. So here, 4000 BC got it all wrong. That's a bit easier. Killed you. I'm sure it got you. With that's now David got you. 1200 BC got it all wrong. Mesopotamian script work, David. Okay. The history of authorship, obviously. One thing would have been legitimizing from 6,000 year illegitimate earth history of authorship, which is right here in the next sentence. Now the Ezra's have been saying illegitimate history of authorship. Well, watch out, we're morons. Do you see how this man keeps coming out? Watch out, we're morons. He comes to defy Israel. You got defied. It kept the Bible kept 1611 legend. Turn Israel off. Israel, you're fired. You gave us a bad book and kept 6,000. You're even in complete idiots guide, you stupids. Jewish complete idiots side to history. You're done. You're done too, Bible. King James Version of the Bible, we have to be done with you. Done. The complete idiots guide. In this one, you have both Darwin and Usher, but better yet, you have 3760, so we'll give you completed. Yes, 3760. So that's Jews got Auschwitz. 3760 came up with a false legend. How long did it get you to cast Auschwitz? 3760. That's you can blame Dr. Martin Luther if you really need to. If you really want to blame someone or the history why Jews got Auschwitz, that would be Dr. Martin Luther. Sorry, doctor. With Dr. Martin Luther, Jews, so you got Auschwitz. We're sorry for giving you the 1611, not sniffing it again without this big warning. Oh, God's right here, and you're now in hell because two verses put you there. Is you can blame everyone for that one. That's 6,000. 6,000 still have it. 1611. 6,000. German's fault. We'll help you. I'm from Germany. Take it away. Take it away. Take it away. 1611. Now we got a lot of work to do. What's wrong in your education systems? Everything. Oh, no. 1859, The Legend of Origin of Great Apes. That one. So I'm going to go. I'll make coffee. So you really held on to a delusional disorder that you can interpret the King James Version of the Bible is what I ended up with. When it's, the whole King James Version of the Bible is the, and not just one verse, not just one other book, but the King James Version of the Bible is apocryphatic. That meant that the Mormon King James Version of the Bible is apocryphatic. That meant the 1611 was different. Was 75 books, and in the year 1666, 2766 book apocryphatic now. There in the Mormon church, I got to take away from all religion because Mormons is one of the third one I'm after. We got to use this 6,000 year what the fuck website to start with. That's your $22 trillion in debt. Too stupid to keep track of what's going on around on this internet. Sounds science. You have your missing link, nothing, and you have everything you needed to figure out that. And you all follow legends. All of you. It being at the year is 2020, I'm pulling the plug on the best I can. Yeah, get everyone here. We're all following some form of weird indentured legend. I need everyone to wake up to that one. Wake up to you're following a legend with religion. Wake up to where'd that come from? We've all been following legends of religion. Where are you at now? What happened to you? What did you religion is? I'm out to end religion for you and explain to you that you don't need religion because you ruined your schools. Religion ruined your schools. Religion in history erased itself, that itself was following mystical weirds of just indenturing everything to not keep track of the written Bible itself. To then not keep track of how did the Quran relate into it, how did the Quran relate with science, how did all of this relate. It's much different when you look at it that way. In order to understand the Dead Sea Scrolls, left you out because you refuse to look at your sermons being taught to you wrong from King James Version. We're teaching it with the Messiah being Jesus. Yeah, Jesus, we love you. But however, who was he in English? He was false. He was false Messiah. He was a much different rabbi. You're part of the authorship. So here where you took God out of the Bible, you took God's fingerprint. That's where you thought he was God. I'm God. I'm God. No, I'm not God. I'm not God. Yeah, if read he's constantly beating the living shit out of you with those words. Really difficult for you guys to understand, so we have to get the whole Bible out of print. Just stop using it. My solution for it, don't make a big deal about it. Stop preaching. Pastor, this book behind this pew said God and Moses spoke face to face. Did you know that? Why'd you take it out? It says here no one ever seen God, but that's not what it meant. Now you can see God? That's what it meant. When was that written down? What millennium is it now? John 1:18. Pastor. What legend got you to where you're at? Pastor. You followed a legend. Pastor. A legend of preaching. Pastor. Following a false Messiah who you're indentured pastoral grade 8 lips and false Messiah. I'm reading from a reading board at gotquestions.org and I'm preaching a cult legend. You can't turn it off because I'm too immoral to even accept reality now that I've been doing this for so long. It says get rid of the book. You're mentally ill because of it now. Look what it did to you. Look what it did to you, gotquestions.org. We need to get rid of the book. 6,000 year Earth legend kept facility on this internet. We need to get rid of this book now. 6,000 year Earth legend keeping facilities, all churches with Bible. Bible meant 6,000 year Earth legend keeping facility. Bible actually meant that. Who's not going to figure out who's teaching it wrong? Everyone, anywhere, everywhere, you're all in hell because of that one. Every word of it's taught wrong. Every word of it's taught wrong, taught in the 1611 legend format that you couldn't read it. And you admitted it by preaching it. You admitted you didn't know what it said. You admitted, I'm going to do anything with any little word caricaturations of, I think it meant something elsewhere, and I created something else from the 1611 into English somewhere else. English is a fabricated language and has everything in it. It evolved from English being the penultimate prize. You figure out what happened in English, and you're all cast to hell because you didn't see it was a legend of a formation of a language. Legend too hard for you to think about. You didn't have your history in writing. You erased yourselves in the history of writing. You put yourself into the history of writing because you erased yourself at the same time, putting yourself in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Who's got it wrong? Oh, everyone's a great ape now in 2020. Everyone's got it wrong. There's a bad jet. I'm pretty sure you're all in hell because of that one. You're all in hell because of that one. It wasn't easy when you evolved writing. It took me 13 years to say, yeah, we're all in hell at having evolved writing. Having evolved writing, that's the end of the road. President, pastors, teachers, that's the end of the road. That's the cleanup. Clean up your education. 500-year great apes, clean up your education. It's time to turn your educations off. You know nothing. Look at your shoulders. Look at it. Record yourself on YouTube saying, I'm never going to preach again. And look how you change. Look how you go out for walks. And look how you get better. And look how you get less ignorant and stupidity like the around you, pastor. You're not a preacher. You're a magic 6,000 year. Got a mental illness called a 6,000 year delusional disorder. Still a 1611 6,000 year earth delusional disorder. Everyone's got it. Science has it. Science also has the same delusion or disorder. We're trying to figure shit out. Well, how does the 1859 thereafter data fit into our? We evolved in 1892. Fit into? We found Kennewick Man in 96, and then we had a debate, and we had to bury him, and he wasn't kneeling, and you're all hunched over a Neolithic cave. I'm on Office Space. I look just like Moses. I'm on TV. I don't know anything. I grew up from a grade 8, homosexual grade 8, rather than a Mason. And so you were what? Yeah, you were taught a legend of your own origin. Whoa, you were taught a legend of your own origin. Your own scientists couldn't figure out that the age of the earth complicated religion too much to turn religion off. We have to turn off religion because religion calculated the age of the earth through the Bible. Is what I'm saying. Turn off. You calculated the age of the earth and did it wrong. You failed. You lose. It meant you followed a legend in the Bible itself. 1611 legend. Got to turn off 1611. Figure out what millennium it is now. The year's 2020. Thanks.